Hi all, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing okay. I wanted to get a video out after Abu Dhabi nearly 2 weeks ago, but as I was putting the videos together and editing it, just more and more stories were coming in, headline stories of the issues with Mercedes, how Aston Martin upstaged them in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It just got too much. Yeah, if I'd have added everything that was coming in, we would have been sat here for an hour, and I'm sure, nobody wants to put up with listening to me for that long. So, anyway, I'll cover just briefly what's going on with Mercedes before we move on to the issues at Ferrari. So, stick with me, and here we go. So, as you probably know, Mercedes have been kind of humiliated at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, considering Aston Martin are using pretty much the Mercedes W14 back end, as in the gearbox suspension, obviously the power unit. So I don't think the car turned out to be where it wanted to be, but obviously, with all the fallout of Lewis Hamilton calling out his engineers to resolve this problem, to get this car sorted, to Toto Wolff saying that, obviously they need to get on and do something with the car, scrap this one, and come up with a sort of B spec, I suppose, and technically, but according to Damon Hill, that's not possible due to the cost cap. But Toto Wolff has said that he believes that they will be able to build another car and keep it within this year's current cost cap. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know. I've got no idea what these parts cost except for a lot of money. So, and then of course, George obviously seems to be very sort of, let down by this W14, George Russell. He thinks that Red Bull are going to just go on and steam their way to winning this championship, whether it be constructors and drivers. Although to be fair, Red Bull have said that they're not looking at it like that, but it's just the fallout from Mercedes, being off the pace. I think they expected better of the car, but for some unknown reason, the car seems really draggy still. It's just not quick enough, and obviously, Red Bull winning the race, which was highly expected anyway. I don't know if it would have been different without Charles Leclerc having to retire, whether he would have been on the podium or not. But Aston Martin and Fernando Alonso both believe that they were likely to catch him and pass him on track before the end of the race. So, I mean, that's quite interesting. And of course, Aston Martin now have Dan Fallows, who has come across from Red Bull, that apparently they've offered him, into the millions to recruit him into the Aston Martin team, and the benefits are showing. So yes, Red Bull have said that the Aston Martin is pretty much the third Red Bull on the grid, but if you look closely, there is a lot of differences between the Aston Martin and the Red Bull, which, if you want, I'm quite happy to find that information and pass it on to you. But I just wanted to skip over pretty much what was going on with Mercedes, because now we're into the problems at Ferrari, which there seems to be massive problems within that team. So yeah, I do want to chat about that in a sec. But just to recap, Mercedes did hit the headlines. Obviously, you've probably all seen the fallout from it. As far as I know, Lewis still hasn't signed his contract for this year. He said in the press conference, the drivers' conference today, that he wants to stay with the team. He sees no reason to leave, but obviously, until they can give him that championship winning car, which he wants because he wants to win his eighth title, maybe he's just holding off on the talks to sign him with them. But again, there's links to him going to Ferrari. There's even links to him going to Red Bull. I don't know. Who knows? But that's that for now. So we'll move on to Ferrari now. Right, so Ferrari's early season crisis has reportedly taken another worrying twist behind the scenes, with more of their staff members seeking a way out of the team after becoming disillusioned with the leadership from the very top. The historic Italian outfit endured a disappointing time of things at the season opening Bahrain Grand Prix, with Carlos Sainz failing to get on the podium and Charles Leclerc being forced into an early retirement due to an engine failure. I think that later turned out to be an electronics control issue, which he's going to be taking a grid penalty for this weekend in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, new team principal Frederic Vasseur has already been forced to deal with the exit of a key member of staff this year, with aerodynamicist chief David Sanchez having tendered his resignation ahead of an expected move to McLaren later in the season. It seems as though at least one further departure could soon be on the horizon at Ferrari in the form of race director Laurent Mekies, who has reportedly grown frustrated with the management approach of CEO Benedetto Vigna. That's according to the Formula One Uno, who are reporting that Mekies is desperate to quit Ferrari amid internal discontent towards Vigna's leadership style. He is already said to have received a handful of offers from elsewhere on the grid, while it is claimed that he has also been approached by the FIA as he considers whether to return to the governing body after leaving the previous role with them back in 2018. Mekies would supposedly prefer to report directly to Vasseur rather than Vigna, who has taken on a more prominent role within the team following Mattia Binotto's exit at the end of the last season. Vasseur, meanwhile, would prefer to keep Mekies in order to avoid further complications that could arise from any potential resignation due to his contract status. The possibility of additional departures from Ferrari over the coming weeks cannot be entirely ruled out, with Inaka Ruda also said to be considering his future within the team after being demoted from his former role as head of strategy earlier this year. It remains to be seen whether Ferrari will be able to bounce back over the coming weeks in spite of their ongoing internal crisis, which is already threatening to derail their efforts to clinch the end of season honours after just one race. The uncertainty over the futures of several team members is reportedly contributing to an increasingly tense mood behind the scenes at Maranello, while their reliability issues at the Bahrain Grand Prix will have done little to ease fears of another lacklustre campaign given the impressive start made by Red Bull. However, it was recently claimed by Vasseur that Ferrari's current issues both on and off the track are merely teething problems and will sort themselves out as the season progresses. Fred Vasseur said, "I never saw a car able to match the pace of another one in quali and not be able to in the race. It's a matter of setup and some choices on the car. It's not a matter of concept at all. It's never good to start with a DNF, and I would have preferred to finish like Red Bull for sure. But now I want to stay consistent in my position. I told the team before the test in Bahrain 2 weeks ago that the championship won't be over in Bahrain. It doesn't matter the result in any case. It was true for the winter tests, and it's true for the first race. The most important thing now is to be able to have a clear picture of the situation where we are failing, do a proper analysis on this, and to come back stronger as soon as possible." So there you are. There's the media reports of what's going on at Ferrari. Now, personally, I think Ferrari are far too protective over the brand, and I get that. Obviously, you know, that matters to them. But I think it's about time, as a team, they stop using the bosses of Ferrari to instruct the CEO, team principal, whatever you want to call him, what to do. He needs to be able to run the team without the pressures from higher management, and until they sort that out, I can't see them moving forward that much. But anyway, let me know what you think. I'm sorry for the long video, but I think this Ferrari thing is going to run on for some time. So please, bear with me, stick with it, and let's see what happens during the chat during free practice one tomorrow. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Sorry for the long video again. I do apologise. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe, and press the notification bell so you get uploads or warnings, as I like to say, of my future uploads. But I do appreciate your time, and thank you for watching. And until the next time, take it easy. Bye.